Hello, Austin here, and today I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite ways to integrate Vim mode into your VS Code workflow. Let's jump in. Tip number 1, how to quickly navigate within a line of code. There are 3 main keys that I typically use for this, and those are W, forward a word, B, backwards a word, and F, find something specific. So if we press W, we can move forward a word. B simply does the opposite and moves backwards a word. Now those are good ways to get around, but there's an even better way, and that's F. So say that we wanted to move our cursor to the very first $sign that appears in this line. We could type F, $sign, and there we go. Now, once you've entered this find expression, there's a couple of other things to know about, and those are the semicolon, semicolon, and comma keys. Semicolon moves your cursor to the next find match, so the next $sign and the next. Comma moves to the previous find match. Using F is a super powerful way to navigate your code within a certain line. And there's one last thing to note with F. You can type capital F to search in reverse. So if we type capital F, opening parenthesis, it moves us there. Tip number 2, the C and I keys. The way I remember these is C for change, I for within. They're useful on their own, but they become super powerful when you start combining them. For example, if our cursor is at the beginning of this word and we type CW for change word, it changes the whole word. But what happens if we're in the middle of that word and we type CW? Notice it only changes from where our cursor was to the end of that current word. This is where the I key comes in. So if we type CIW for change within word, no matter where our cursor is within that word, it will change it and put us into insert mode. Super useful, but this becomes way more powerful when you realize it works with almost anything. For example, parentheses, quotes, even HTML tags. So if we're on this parenthesis and we type CI parenthesis, it changes the whole contents, as you'd expect. Same thing with quotes. Use it. Let me show you HTML tags too. So if we're within this HTML tag and we type CIT, it works great. And this will work if you're at the beginning or the end of a tag or a character or anything that's surrounded by things. Tip number 3. A few ways to enter into insert mode at useful positions other than where your cursor is at. The first one I use often is the O key, and that puts you into insert mode on the following line. Now, if you type Shift O or capital O, it will put you on the line above. 2 more. Capital A puts you into insert mode at the end of a line, and capital I puts you into insert mode at the beginning of a line. That's it for tip 3. Tip number 4, the almighty period key. This is one of those super powerful, mind-blowing Vim features that can be hard to follow if you're watching someone using Vim, but it's probably best demonstrated. So the period key allows you to repeat an entire action. So if we're in command mode here and we type CI parenthesis to change everything in this method signature to say hello equals world. Now we hit escape to go back into command mode and say we want to repeat this change down here on this line. We simply hit period and it magically works. It magically repeats that whole change action that we did. And that's it, folks. Those are some of my favorite ways to use Vim workflows within VS Code. And I just wanted to show you all that even if you're not using full-blown Vim on the command line, you can still sprinkle some wonderful parts of Vim into your workflow in other editors. And I hope you found this video useful. Thank you.